Hey YouTube, it's Mrs. Rains here. Just wanted to come at you with a video. If you read the title correctly, then you know it's about budgeting. Monthly budgeting as it pertains to your finances. And this is important because it helps new couples starting out, older couples that have just been doing it wrong, single people who just want to get a handle on their finances before being married. All these different scenarios go into it. Teens, if you want to get started correctly and not be fighting a losing battle. There's a lot of good information on this website, DaveRamsey.com. My husband and I participated in a class, way probably 6 months ago now, and we've been on the plan ever since. And we do love the plan. Sticking to the plan can be difficult, but of course, it gives you a great sense of accomplishment when you pay off debt. So if you can, you find a class that is doing using the Dave Ramsey information, by all means join it. The class is called Financial Peace, and this is what the workbook looks like. If you can see just beyond the camera there's a website as well where you can kind of get free downloads to get started before you can get into the class. And this is the book you receive when you do join the class, and it's called Dave Ramsey's Complete Guide to Money. This is great. Great information. It's really practical stuff that you probably already know, but it's worth, reading again. Now, with any financial plan, you should tweak it to fit your family's needs, which is what I've done. So I do use the Dave Ramsey principles as a basis, but then I've kind of expanded beyond that. And so I have my own home finance bill organizer. I got this from the dollar store, and it maybe cost $2 or $3. I think I got it from Dollar General, and inside it's got folders and pockets, and it's got a place for you to write down monthly dates with monthly debts with their due date, the due date expenses, amount paid, due, all that sort of thing. I don't use that part of it because I found that the dry erase is very difficult to get off once you get it on there. So I printed these out, and this just comes from a template online, and I put those in each pocket, and I'll show you what I do with that later. First, I want to tell you what you should do to get started. And this is just 2 tips that I decided worked well for me, and I realized a difference in how I felt about paying bills, because usually it's kind of one of these tasks that you have to do. You just don't want to do it, but you must. So 2 things that you see in front of you are a scented candle. This one is Sensational's coconut, and then herbal tea. I brew herbal tea every single time I sit down to pay bills because I find that it relaxes me. Before those 2 things, the most important thing is to pray before sitting down and doing the bills, because ultimately something's going to go wrong, something is going to be overlooked, something's going to be missed, and you need to have the right temperament and mindset to be able to handle that. So I do tend to pray first. I even pray after to say thank you, God, for keeping me sane and helping me to get through the task. So when you go through the Dave Ramsey course, you'll learn how to fill out a monthly cash flow plan, and it looks like this. If you see on the computer screen, you can download this for free on the Dave Ramsey website. The cash flow plan has entries for charity, for savings, housing, utilities, medical health, transportation, clothing, and food, and also entries for insurance, recreation, and personal items, as well as a debt category. And the idea is to get these empty, the debt category side empty. And then on the bottom, it kind of shows you how to do the math to figure out what, how much money you have coming in versus how much you're spending out. It also comes with directions on how to fill it out. So even if you haven't gone through the class, if you download this and you print it out today, you will know how to do this monthly cash flow plan. And it's no cost to you, so it's worth trying, even if you think, oh, Dave Ramsey's not for me, I don't want to, listen to him, whatever it is. I enjoyed the class personally, but whatever hangups you may have, it costs you nothing to go on the site, print it out, and try it. If you try it for 3 months and you don't like it or it doesn't help you, then you move on to something else that will help you. But for me, we did this, the proof is in the pudding. We did this for 3 months during the class, and having somebody to walk through it with us the first couple of times when we made mistakes and errors and all that, having somebody to counsel us on that was amazing, and it was helpful. And they even reach out to us now to say, hey, how's it going? Complete this survey. Let us know where we can help, or how can we come alongside you and pray. So it's really awesome to be a part of the class. So those little sheets I was telling you about inside of my home finance bill organizer, it's just a template, and I got this off of Microsoft Word. If you go in there and search up birthday checklist, that's what this comes up as. I just didn't use it for that. I tweaked it for my own purposes. And this is what I do with it. I basically put the year next to the month, and then I fill in these things that I need to pay each month. Now, these are, categories that I just came up with, and these are the ones that are, they should reconcile with the cash flow plan that I just showed you. So the dollar amount should be the same. So whatever it says for internet here should say the same for internet there. But this is a little quick guide because instead of me pulling out that cash flow plan every time I sit down to pay bills, I can pull this out. And what I basically do is I write down whatever the item is, I write down the date it's due, and then I write down the dollar amount that it must be due by that date. So that way I can reconcile it with, and I kind of just go online and search up and find out, the bills that we get online, the stack of bills that we get in the mail. I open them and I fill this out. So this is a fluid form. I may not have access to the water bill until some certain date, but when I receive it in the mail, I sit down, I open this up, and I transfer those numbers over. And I transfer them over to the monthly flow chart. Now that monthly flow chart, even though you can get a free download of it, if you go to Financial Peace and you are part of the class, you can get access to other websites. And I'm told now that you can get these websites even if you don't take the class. And one is called everydollar.com. We use EveryDollar to fill out our monthly flow chart. And the reason why it's good to have that is password protected, and it moves these things over from month to month. All you got to do is go in and change the dollar amounts. That makes it so much easier than having to fill it out from scratch each time. So I fill this out. I reconcile it with my daily flow chart. And then when it's time to sit down and pay bills, I light my candle, I brew my tea, and then I go down the list, paying these things online or writing checks for them or whatever the need be. Most of these are paid online. And if you notice, I put them in kind of how the order of due date. And then these things down here, those should be going down to the point where they disappear slowly but surely off of the list. So that's part of the debt snowball. You'll have to take the class to get more information on that. But that's pretty much what we do to budget. We do this monthly. In the ideal situation, I would sit down and do the budget, and then that evening, my husband and I would sit down and discuss the budget. He would make changes where he sees necessary. I would, talk to him about things that I wanted to add or take away from the budget and got his opinion on. And then once we agreed on a budget, we call this a budget meeting, but once we agree on a budget, then that's what it will be for the month unless there's some circumstances that require it to be changed. I did not bring down the envelope plan that we get with Financial Peace University. It is a wallet that has envelopes in it for each category, like for food, for entertainment, for gas, for health and beauty. Whatever it is, if you see it on this monthly cash flow plan, here, I'll show you. If you see on this monthly cash flow plan, some of these items have little envelopes next to them. These are items that'd be good for the envelope plan. I do have envelopes, and they do have, we do keep them, put in a safe location. And when we need to go to the grocery store or something like that, we just take the envelope out, head over, and, we reconcile with the envelopes based on what we have budgeted. Now, if you find that at the end of the month, you are running out of cash in that envelope before it gets to the next paycheck where you would be refilling envelopes again, then that's how you know you need to curb your spending in that area, or that's how you know you need to retweak kind of your budget. And then there's situations that, might affect your budget that are unforeseen circumstances, in which case that's when you use your emergency funds that are set aside. So, that'd be like a flat tire or something like that. So although it's not on the monthly flow chart, you do know that savings is there just for the emergencies, and that's what you should use when those emergencies come up. So I think that pretty much covers what we do. I hope this helps you. I hope if you're a young adult just getting into budgeting, that this is something you look into. If you're married and newlyweds, this is something you should look into, especially if you're trying to merge finances and get on the same grounds with your spouse. If you're an older couple who's been living harmoniously for years and never had a budgeting problem, this still might help you, because this might allow you to free up more of your monthly funds in order to do other things with it, like travel, or maybe, you want to save for grandchildren, or whatever it is you want to do. You want to be able to have the money to do those things. So this is good for, even children learning how to budget should take a look at this. It's so worth it. And you should definitely check out the Ramsey website. I don't want to go too long here, but this is something that's definitely helped my husband and I. And so, you know, like I always say, put God at the head of all you do. I hope you enjoyed this video. Tell me in the comment section below if you have used Dave Ramsey or if you are using another financial plan that's viable. Because I'd like to check it out and see comparatively what's out there. So, again, put God at the head of all you do, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.